Biggie by Derek E. Sullivan. Narrated by Matt Godfrey. Chapter 1. Getting Tagged. People call me Biggie. Not all people. Mom and some teachers call me Henry, but for the most part, I'm Biggie. Do I like the nickname? No, of course I don't. Nor do I care much for Brian Burke, who 9 years ago thought up the moniker when we were playing tag during second grade recess. I should have just told him to shut up or said something mean in verbal retaliation. But I didn't. I just stood there, head hung, shoulders fallen, hands swaying in the icy wind of early December. It would have been so easy to fight back. He was tiny, wore the same ratty, torn Notre Dame t-shirt every day, and loved, and I mean loved, investigating the inside of his nose with his long fingernails. That day, instead of getting caught up in the cherished elementary school game of I can be meaner than you, my lips locked. I stood there like some sap with my eyes focused on trampled snow, which was filled with small shoe prints from 7-year-olds avoiding the flailing arms of the kid who last heard, "You're it." Even today, I can still remember that day 9 years ago when everyone was laughing and snickering the first time Brian said my nickname out loud. Over time, the memory is more the background laughter of my classmates than Brian's repetitive teasing of, "You're so big and fat, we should call you Biggie." I learned that Friday that you didn't need to be touched to get tagged. Do I deserve my nickname? Sure. I'm not going to lie or sugarcoat the situation. I stand 6'2" and weigh north of 300 pounds. Last year, my mom had to start ordering t-shirts online. I'll keep my size to myself, but let's just say there's enough X's in it to make a porn store owner blush. For at least a little while longer, I can still get my shorts and jeans at John's Big and Tall, which is located an hour from my hometown of Finch, Iowa. Population, a handful. Lately, my jeans, new and old, feel like tourniquets wrapped tightly around my thighs. How did I get this way? Or a better question, why have I let myself grow to over 300 pounds? Simply put, now I'm invisible. Funny, isn't it? The more I weigh, the less people ride me about it. By living up to my nickname, I have accomplished an amazing feat. I'm the only high school student in the world who doesn't get made fun of on a daily basis. It doesn't stop there. I'm also the only teenager in America whose parents leave him alone. Millions of people in the world give up the foods they love, or drop billions of strands of sweat to avoid being called fat. I have managed to avoid the taunts, glares, and verbal abuse without giving up anything or wasting most of my life on a treadmill. I pull this off by shutting my mouth, staying in my bedroom at home, and sitting in the back of the room at school. Standing in the shadows of my high school, I have noticed one undeniable fact. High school kids are cruel, mean sons of bitches, and not just toward fat people. Nobody is immune to the constant ripping. I can't take a step without hearing some kid make fun of another kid. Every second, students are laughing at someone else's dumb outfit, clumsy behavior, or poorly chosen words. It's not a battle, but a never-ending verbal war. In this conflict, I choose to be a pacifist. To avoid being hit by spoken bullets, I have decided to never point that gun at anyone else. I keep my mouth shut at all costs. At my desk, I disappear from everyone. The jocks that rip on kids who don't have God-given talent, the do-it-alls who come to class every day, try out for the spring play, run for student council, and so on, and the sleepers who rest their heads on desks and could care less about school. Sure, I feel the urge to say something now and then, raise my hand to answer some teacher's question, or say hello to one of the few kids I don't despise at this small-town hellhole. But it's not worth the risk. When you're fat, insults hurt and come in droves like ammunition from a machine gun. I hate being made fun of for my weight and will do anything. I mean anything to avoid it, even if that means adding weight. A funny thing happened a year ago when my weight neared 300 pounds. People stopped looking at me, staring in disgust or delicately shaking their heads at the sight of me. In the past year, I have learned that being slightly overweight is a lot more annoying than being obese. For example, the summer before the start of high school, when I weighed around 220 pounds, the football coach called our house every week and told me that if I played for his team, and more importantly, if I committed myself to the weight room, I could play college football as an offensive guard or nose tackle. But sports aren't for me, and I definitely don't need athletics to get into college. Since my school started giving out A's, B's, C's, D's, and F's in 3rd grade, I've missed out on getting an A once. At the end of my 7th grade year, my physical education teacher wrote that I didn't participate effectively and gave me an A-. Participate effectively? What does that mean? The way I see it, if a kid stands there and keeps his mouth shut, he deserves an A. Want another example? Having a 13-year-old weighing well over 200 pounds bugged my mom, so she got me up early and forced me to walk on a treadmill. When I came home from school, she, as if she were on CSI, searched my backpack and pockets for junk food wrappers. She worked so hard to keep me from eating junk food that hiding the wrappers from candy bars, hamburgers, and Twinkies took up most of my time. Would it have been easier to just not eat my favorite foods? Probably. But they're my favorite foods. I'm a fat kid who has to stay quiet all the time to avoid constant ridicule. Eating Snickers now and then is the only way I don't go completely insane. So it didn't surprise me at all when no matter how hard Mom worked, my weight kept rising and rising. Soon the doctor's office staff weighed me out at 270 pounds. Mom said little the next few days. Then one morning she said she was done begging me to work out and pleading with me to eat healthy. The words were music to my ears. Now, other than making healthy meals, she has stopped being my athletic trainer. No more early morning door poundings, no more rummaging around in my stuff, no more getting on my case about my weight. I am free to be me. If I had followed my mom's orders and stopped with the junk food and embraced the exercise plans, I would still be working out in the mornings, living off vegetables, and being all around miserable 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Plus, if I look even the slightest bit fit, coaches at sports-obsessed Finch High School would never leave me alone. Some days, I feel like I'm the only person in Finch who doesn't share a passion for sports. What I don't understand is why someone would want to fail so much for just a small taste of success. For example, Matt Jet Wayne, the baseball team's best hitter, batted only .418 this summer. So 58.2% of the time, he failed. And he's an all-state award winner on the diamond. Wouldn't all of the failure make someone hate sports? Another thing about me, I'm a perfectionist. Not only have I mastered my school's curriculum and perfected a way to avoid insults, I have also never missed a day of school in 10 years. Not one. I have never been sick a single day in my life. If junk food is so horrible for your health, how do I stay so healthy? I'm sure the anti-junk food crowd has no answer for that. Anyway, a real perfectionist could never enjoy sports. Sports are for guys like Brian Burke, who, unfortunately, stopped picking his nose. As I got bigger and bigger, adding more and more credence to his nickname for me, he got stronger and faster. Ever since 6th grade, he has been the school's top athlete. He's the quarterback, power forward, and starting pitcher. By junior high, Brian wasn't the only one calling me Biggie. Everyone did. Everyone worshipped him, so much that he got to pick his own nickname, a rarity at any high school. The story goes that his father used to wear a homemade t-shirt to baseball games that had a big yellow jacket, the school's mascot, on it, along with the words, "Brian Burke, Finch's Killer Bee." Brian loved it so much that one day he told everyone to call him Killer. And to this day they